Welcome, everybody, to the latest session of Fix This Writing, a LinkedIn Live broadcast where two writing teachers examine the writing sample and talk about how it could be better. Now, I'm so pleased. I'm Leslie O'Flahaven, and my company is called eWrite, and I'm coming to you today from right outside Washington, D.C., and I'm joined by my dear friend and partner, Kim. Kim, won't you introduce yourself?
I will. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you today. I am Kim Saito Campbell. I am a professor at a university and have been one for a very long time. I have been teaching tech writing and business writing since the beginning of my academic life. And so it's a great topic, and it's one that I'm guessing all of you want to hear about. So we're glad to have you.
Absolutely. We are delighted to have you, and we're inviting you to introduce yourselves. And if you're joining us for the first time today, drop us a comment and let us know who you are and where you're joining us from. If you've joined Fix This Writing for a broadcast in the past, well, welcome back. Please do introduce yourself and let the new folks know that you are here. So here's Parv joining us from Frankfurt. Hey, Parv, how are you doing? And let's see, a couple of other people are joining us. Look at this, Kim. There were a few people who weren't sure why we hadn't started yet. Oh, we're up and running. Here's Deborah. Hey, welcome, Deborah from San Antonio. Who else would like to introduce yourself?
We've got Amanda. So I've got representation from the two states I've lived in most recently. We've got Deborah from Texas, and we've got Amanda from Alabama.
All right. And here's Victor from UK. Wonderful. Carla. Hello, Carla. Thanks for joining us from Edinburgh. And here's Katarina joining from Portugal. It's an international group today.
Yeah.
We've got Jen joining us from Union, Ontario. Here's Courtney. Hey, Courtney, welcome. Jennifer's here. So glad you're all joining us for the new year. Here's Robert. Greetings from Victoria, BC. And here's Nicole saying, hi back to you. 3 highs all around. Ito Hawok joining from Nigeria. Welcome, friend from all these miles and miles away. Terrell from Maryland. You and I probably shop at the same grocery store. Here's Jalita from Charlotte. Hello. Salima, first timer. Hey, Salima, thanks. Here's Christoph joining us. Wow. Hey, Christoph.
Belgium.
Tom from Kansas. And here's Sophia. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, welcome to Fix This Writing, all of you from near and far. I'm going to let you know you can connect with me at leslie@ewriteonline.com. You can connect with Kim at prosewrite.com. And I have just a little bit more business before we get to the sample Kim has brought us. It's going to blow you away. Our next session will be on February 21. And if you have a sample you would like us to fix, please send it to us. You can connect with us on LinkedIn. You can contact us by email. And just for the record, for the recording, today is January 24th, 2003. All right, Kim, here we go. Here is the sample we are sharing today. Kim, would you like to say anything about this sample?
So let me tell you that this is an actual email. It was collected by a student of mine when I was asking them to collect examples of tone problems in emails that they had received from a business.
Okay.
So this came to the student from her veterinary office, and they were talking about her dog, Dixie. So the first thing that I really want our audience to pay attention to and to tell us is, why does it need to be fixed? Not necessarily how. I promise we'll get to that. But why does it need to be fixed? Why does it matter if there's a tone problem? I'm assuming you're going to agree with me that there's a tone problem. So why? Why does it need to be fixed? Why should the veterinarian care?
Okay. Hey, everybody, could you drop your answer to this question about the sample Kim is sharing? Drop it in the comments so we can see what you think. Kim wants to know why the tone is off and why the tone needs to be fixed. And we have one comment. Kim, look, wow, that's an aggressive letter. What do
It
the rest of
is.
you think? Is the tone of this aggressive?
Yeah.
Yvette says it's missing a warm intro.
Okay.
Okay. And
What's
here's
sorry.
it's abrasive. It's not very inviting from
Okay.
our joiner from Velux. Go
So
ahead.
I don't know how many of you have pets, but I've never received an email or a message quite this aggressive. I would agree it's pretty aggressive. But I have received messages from my veterinarian before that made me feel bad.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like I was not a good pet owner or a pet mom. And so I'm wondering, so Deborah's saying one of the reasons this needs to be fixed, the tone matters, is because you want your pet to get better. But what is it about this tone that keeps you from, as the customer, keeps you, creating fear rather than
Indeed.
partnering?
Yes, and I love this comment from Brenda. Brenda writes, "Why alienate your client? There are other vets to choose." Indeed.
Absolutely.
Right, and that goes back to your question originally, Kim, is why does this need to be fixed? Because the tone is alienating and it might cause the client to go to a different veterinarian.
Right.
I wonder. Yeah, oh, Nicole has a sharp comment. Nicole says, "This looks like his file notes."
Sure.
Ouch.
You could have this in your notes and the customer would never know, the client would never know, and then it wouldn't matter, right?
Yeah. Courtney's comment, Courtney knows how writing lands because she writes, it's too direct.
Yeah.
You must develop rapport and continue to establish trust. I wouldn't want to deal with him or her.
Right.
Liberty says something harsh too. This is judgmental.
Yeah.
As in the vet thinks less of the person whose pet it is.
Yes, I agree. Only negative mentioning, no positives or comforting words. Good job, Parv. I agree completely.
Yep. Right. Esther, you want to gain the client's trust. And this is the opposite of that. My goodness, Kim, what did we get the most articulate people?
I know.
On LinkedIn. Great. I know.
It's great. It's sometimes hard to get our audience to tell us why, because they want to jump in and start fixing, which I totally get. But I think it's really important for us to think as writers in the workplace, what's the consequence when somebody sends an email like this?
Indeed.
It matters to the vet because they could be losing business. They could be making the owners not want to come in, even though they don't go somewhere else. So maybe it's like someone said, the pet doesn't get the care that they need because the client feels offended.
Shamed.
Yeah,
Shamed,
exactly.
Yes. Look what Victor wrote. It reads like the owner's being accused of negligence. Okay, that
absolutely,
is sharp.
Victor.
He is onto it.
Yep,
okay, Ms. Kim, where are we going next here? What's
All right.
next?
Well, usually what we do at this point is one of us show you our version of a fixed letter. But what I did, or a fixed message, what I did for this month, because it's been everywhere, is I decided to let an AI writer create a response for us. And then we could judge.
Oh, Kim's seized up there. She's frozen for just a minute. Let's see if she can unfreeze. She's going to show us an AI writer, and we can judge whether the robot army can control the tone better. So we're going to give poor Kim her broadcast has frozen. Let me let her know. So let's give her exactly 3 more seconds. And if she can't unfreeze, I'm going to show you the example she has generated for us. So again, Kim chose an AI writer, but not Chat GPT. And she is going to show us how well it did. Are you back, Kim? Oh, she's going to leave and rejoin. Okay, here we go. I'm going to continue. So Kim told me that she had chosen an AI writer other than Chat GPT just to give a different product a try. Okay, are you back?
I am. I apologize, guys. I think it's the weather here today. We're having storms. Okay.
All I have said was 4 words, and yours will be better. I just said that you chose Creator AI, not Chat GPT, just to show how a possibly less well-known tool works.
Right. There are many of these. So
Okay.
if you haven't used one of these, what you do is you give it a prompt, right? And you can make some selections. Different products have different things you can select. What I did with Creator AI is, I believe this was in the category of an email message.
Mm-hmm.
So I said who the reader was going to be, who I was as the writer, and then I chose a tone. There are different tones to choose from. And all I told it was create a message from a veterinarian to a client about scheduling a visit to get the client's dog's teeth cleaned to avoid future health problems. So that is it. That is the entire amount of information I gave it.
And you chose the personal tone, right?
Yes, exactly.
As opposed to
formal
or formal,
or funny, or academic, or whatever. So I assumed that personal would be reasonable, for a veterinarian and a client. So this is the message that it created.
Okay, I'm writing. What do you think of the tone of this message? Right, that's our question.
Yeah, Deborah says she's using Jasper AI.
Okay,
I am aware of Jasper too. There are many of these. Chat GPT has been the one in the news, but there really are many of these.
Okay, so friends, as soon as you've read it, won't you please chat in? What do you think is the tone? Did Creator AI do a better job with the tone than the human we read? Here's a comment from Tara.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Much more warm, ensures the tone with the client softer. Okay, I would agree with the topic at hand. Courtney says it has no ask. Sounds passive, doesn't stress Dixie needs a teeth cleaning. It's not personal at all. Okay.
Good point. It didn't land the outcome.
Shows concern. I'd be willing to bring my love to this vet. Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm going to remember this day because we're responding. I'm not joking. We're responding to a non-human writer this way. I would be willing to bring my love to this vet. Even if she meant to type, I would be willing to bring my dog. That's what came out.
Right. Me too. And that's what Deborah says. I like it. I'd reach back out to them. I know that's how I feel. I do not feel, I feel like the tone problem is fixed. Maybe it doesn't stress the importance of the health issues or the possible timeline. I can only say that the way I would describe the problem with the tone in the original is that it conveys inaccurate authority. In other words, it presumes that the vet is in charge of my pet's health. And I don't respond well to those.
Right. Nor did our joiners. They did not. They were not here for that. So look at this comment. I think this scenario, the prompt is slightly different because the original letter seemed to be in response to an exam. And this is not in response to an exam.
Okay, that's fair.
As a scientist, which I'm not really, but as a scientist, I'd wonder, could I use Creator AI to meet the two goals? Do I have to choose personal tone with no ask, or could I have personal tone and an ask?
I think that I agree with Esther. One of the things that impresses me, I'm going to go back to your question, but one of the things that impresses me about this is that I didn't tell it anything about what the future health problems could be. And so it came up with this, and I checked, this is accurate. So I might do even more to say that bacterial infections can cause heart, liver, kidney issues, which would make it stronger maybe in terms of the seriousness. But it did an accurate job of describing what the consequences would be. Now, what was I supposed to be answering? I've forgotten.
Could the Creator AI do both? Can it ask for an action and establish a personal tone?
Absolutely. So one of the things that makes these AI writers, I believe, the most valuable is not just that the first draft could look like this, but that you can engineer your prompt to get what you want.
Okay.
One of the things people like about Chat GPT is that it will remember the last message that you gave it and what it created, and you can continue in the same vein. So make that message more, have a stronger request.
Okay. Yeah.
And it would tweak that for you.
And remember to carry forward.
Yes. Now, Creator AI does not. It doesn't remember, and so I'd have to redo my my message and really my prompt. All I'd have to do, I think, is make it clear the next visit is important.
Oh, okay. So what about a grammar tweak? Would create a message from a veterinarian asking or requesting a client schedule a visit to get the client's dog teeth cleaned? Would that, we'd
that
love
might
to
be even better. Yeah.
We'd love to see your pup for a dental cleaning. Does have a personal tone. Yeah. Brenda says, what a great way to put it. I never thought of authority, right? And everyone reacted negatively to the authoritarian sound of the first one. Yeah. Right. And Emila is saying this should be a draft. The AI, the original is, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what I have seen in I've seen many of my colleagues who do tech writing have tested ChatGPT in terms of could it do the kind of writing that they do for simple instructions? And I think they've all come to the conclusion that yes, it can. I also have some tech editors who are friends who have tested it for editing material. They would say absolutely, but it doesn't remove the human completely. What it does is it enhances efficiency. So you don't have to come up with the draft yourself. It will come up with the draft for you. Or you can spend some time ideating. That's the word I would use. In other words, planning what should be said, what should be in the message by trying it out back and forth instead of sitting alone by yourself making notes, perhaps.
Indeed. And Amanda's echoing that AI is a tool like any other. I still write my own stuff, but I use a copy AI to get me started. I still write, so I know how to evaluate AI copy. I think writing teachers like you and me, Kim, people whose work it is to help people independent of AI improve their writing skills, I think we're yin-yanging between being terrified and being hopeful. And I think in our honest hours, we know that our work has been upended,
it's going to change. Absolutely. And we both make our living from helping humans do a better job creating written messages. And so one of the things that we've decided at my school is that we're going to come up with a policy for how to use it, how to attribute that you have used it, but not to ban it in any way. Instead, to teach students what it can and can't do. And why wouldn't you? Just like we all use spell check now, everyone thought that, that would be the end of good writing, I guess, at some point in time. I don't doubt that people are poorer spellers, perhaps. But I don't necessarily know that that's true. Just because you don't use that skill as much, does it atrophy completely?
Yes, I think there are advantages to the fluent production of language that has started with the PC and word processing and just doubled, tripled, quadrupled. I mean, if you ask about whether we're poorer spellers because we're using spell check. Back before spell check and before word processing, the wear and tear, the effort that producing writing caused some very intelligent people was so high that they wouldn't go to college. They wouldn't accept a job that involved writing. It's 2 generations ago, and we're forgetting what that the conditions of producing writing even in an academic setting. What was that like when you did it with a pen? It was really different. You could call it a caste system almost.
Yes, I agree totally. And because of the world we live in now, so much more of what we do when we interact with each other is written. It used to be there were telephone conversations and physical visits galore. That's, you were in your little local community, and that's how you did most of your interaction. But that's simply not true anymore.
Yeah, and your point is brilliant, and people need to remember it, because I'm sure as a writing teacher, you hear something I hear as a writing teacher all the time, which is kids these days don't write anymore. I never say that, because it's not
true. They write all the time.
We write way, way, way more than we used to. We just don't write 5-paragraph essays anymore.
Right. Exactly.
All right, my fixer, do you want to go to the next example?
Sure. Let me just show the next one. We don't necessarily need to spend a long time on it, but I thought I would show the audience another tool. This one's called Hello Scribe. And this one I decided to, I gave it the very same prompt. So the create a message from a veterinarian about scheduling a visit, same thing, but I asked it to do a funny tone just to see what it could do.
Dog tooth decay is funny.
Yeah, well, it's not, of course. I figured that this would not necessarily be good. I don't know if there's any brand of veterinarian out there who's trying to be flippant.
Right. Probably.
Yeah, exactly. I love this. We'll soon be able to communicate entirely with emojis, just like we did once upon a time when we were in a room together and you read people's, you read their faces and their body language.
That's right. That's right. Right.
So what do you think about this one?
Well, let's see. I think that this brand, I'll call this a brand voice. Okay. This funny tone could be one veterinary practice's brand voice. And if it were, then this is actually charming.
Okay, right?
Yeah, charming. It's the ask is pretty gentle.
Yeah.
So if we really are outside of the brand voice, if we're really worried about the dog's health, I think that we have to teach Hello Scribe how to ask in a direct and concrete way.
Courtney really liked this one. She liked it more than the previous one. She said because it's more personal.
Yeah. But Deborah was like, cute but flippant. What do the rest of you think? Woof.
Yeah, woof.
Woof.
Slide on to the last one. This one was also created with Hello Scribe. So I thought I would show you the tool with two different tones. It's the same tool, same prompt. This time, professional tone. Okay. Professional tone. A little less personal. I don't know if it's that much less personal. Okay, what's Courtney say? Sounds like more like the dentist has a relationship. Yeah.
Okay. It really made me smile the moment about the gossip. She's on the previous
one. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Anastasia.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm sure if a vet practice read Anastasia's comment about it making her smile, they would be pleased.
Right.
And Christoph's like, it's not bringing home the necessity to take care of the pet. Deborah, not Deborah Kim, in my opinion, this one is better than the first one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think it is too.
Yeah. How wonderful.
The ask is a little more direct. And this one is more professional. I agree. I think it got the tone. Got the tone right.
What's fascinating to me is that this one uses personal pronouns. Your vet, I'm writing to remind you it's important to schedule your dog.
Let us know.
Yeah. Right. And as a writing teacher, I know we often have to convince people that using pronouns is in fact professional.
Yeah.
As your vet. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's kind of a stilted, I don't know. I think that's kind of a weird, I wouldn't say that. So I guess, I don't know.
Right. Courtney's like,
I know you're my. Exactly.
Yeah. And Colleen says it's to the point. Yes.
Offers possible appointments. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so
okay.
For me, the bottom line is these things are pretty darn good.
Yes.
And I will be encouraging my students to use them. Why wouldn't I? Everybody wants to be more efficient. It means you have time for other things.
It's a wonderful point. And as an instructor, as a teacher, it's elitist to pretend a tool doesn't exist.
Right.
It's there and people should use it. All right. Does anyone else want to comment? Any other comments or questions? Well, we'll
We're
be looking forward to seeing you on
on
February 21. Uh-huh.
We will, absolutely. We have such a good time doing these, but we really would love to tackle one of your messages. So if you contact Leslie or me with something that you've received or something that was sent out at your workplace, we promise we won't make anybody feel bad.
No,
Um,
we'll scrub it. It will
yeah,
be,
we'll, we'll,
no identifiable names for
yeah.
sure. And I don't, this isn't a throwdown, but I guess it's a challenge,
Okay.
splitting hairs much. Please try to freak us out. Send us
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
you think cannot be fixed, or
Yeah.
send us something that you have been told shouldn't be touched.
Right.
We're here to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, then.
We love having you all. If you have ideas, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you in
Yes.
February.
Thanks, everyone. Wonderful session, Kim. It was
Yes,
just
thank
really
you.
great to see the samples. Thank you so
You
much.
bet. It was great.
Bye-bye for now.